Hey everyone, this is the this is my review. This is the intro to my reviews of the television sitcom episodes of Sydney to the Max, Cooper and Cammy as the World. This is my review of two of their most recent episodes. This is also the first in a new series of videos I'm going to be doing. When it comes to new premieres on Disney Channel, since I'm a huge fan and huge watcher of the brand new late 2010s and 2020s Disney Channel, I decided to whenever my favorite shows or Disney Channel movies have a new premiere, I'm gonna do first a live post post episode or post film reaction and review. Then later in the future, my stereotypical audio narration reviews. Then of course in the future, the video commentary based reviews. But this is the live action review of Sydney to the of episodes 18 and 19 of Sydney to the Max. 18 premiered 2 weeks ago, which was the episode with Olive's brothers and the Alley Fighters video game. The Then you had episode 19, which was yesterday. I just got done watching the hour long. I just got done watching the third encore presentation of the show today, of that episode today. There will be a fourth one tomorrow. What's his name? Then you have the Cooper and Cammy As the World episodes. You have the last one, Would You Rather Be Ragnar's, which was okay. Wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad either. Then you had episode Would You Rather Date Someone Else, which was for the most part good up until the finale of the final scene of the episode, which I'm going to talk about in part two of that video. So, with that being said, let's get started right now. Oh, you can. Yeah. Alright, now it's time for my short review and rant on off camera review and rant on Gabby Durran season 2 episode from 2 weeks ago, Mini from Miami. And let me tell you, the premise on Gabby Durran in the Unsittables.wiki made it sound like this episode was going to be good. But when I watched it, it was one of the most boring episodes. It was one of the most boring episodes I've seen. There were a couple of highlights, but I can't even remember them, man. The episode was so boring. It was basically Gabby's friend from Minnie, which was cool. We got to see Minnie from Miami. We heard about Gabby's friends from Miami throughout season 1, so we finally got to see one this season. But it turns out they both have the same birthday party, and they both get competitive by trying to plan or have the best birthday party or some crap. I don't know.
other than it being new premieres night, this was a very disappointing premiere. So disappointing, I didn't bother to do the post reaction and review when it happened. So boring. This is off camera. I will not be on camera. The second two, Dude, Where's My House and The Mile will be on camera. But yeah, this was lazy. There will be no footage in the background either. This was a very disappointing episode of Gabby Durran and the Unsittables. Yeah. So yeah, I can't even remember that much from the episode. I don't really feel like rewatching all of it to remember everything that happened. So with that being said, and at the time when I saw this, man, I commented on this on the Gabby Durran and the Unsittables wiki page, but season 2, wow, better because the characters and actors and actresses are older and much more mature, and it continues the story arc from season 1. Season 2 is kind of disappointing in comparison to season 1. Season 1 was far more exciting. Season 1 of this show was far more exciting, episode-wise. But the next 2 episodes did pick up, were much better. The Mile and followed by Dude, Where's My House? And I can't wait for next week's episode, which I'm going to give my thoughts on at the end of this video, at the end of this long video right here. And that's a song about Gabby and Susie, where the bitter rivals team up. So yeah, get ready for that. All right, Dude, Where's My House? And The Mile are next, and they will be on camera.
Who this just about anybody is, but he's really starting to tip me off. See? Exactly. I don't know. What's in it for me? It's a Rihanna's prize. Includes a gift certificate of chocolate. That Arlington's restaurant downtown. Help me out. I mean, this picture.
Hey everyone,
Relaxing in
it's now time for my on-camera webcam review of the episode The Mile. Unlike the last episode of Gabby Durran and the Unsittables, I just reviewed this episode right here. This was last week's new episode of Gabby Durran and the Unsittables, and let me tell you, this episode right here was a vast improvement over the previous My Friend from Miami's episode. This episode was way more exciting, way more interesting, and way funnier. In this episode, made, in my opinion, one of the best episodes of the series and season 2. This episode right here featured this episode featured the Havensburg School being forced to take a physics test, and one on that test is the mile running race. Gabby does everything in her power to get out of it. Also in this episode, she bonds with Principal Swiftmore, where they eat breads with jam on it. They call themselves the Jam Brodies. Brodies, something like that. And sorry about that. Sorry, I got some hair in my mouth. Anyway, what else about this episode? Oh yeah, and the Jam Brodies, and Gabby does everything in her power to get out of the test. She even tries to take advantage of her friendship with Principal Swift to get out of the race, to get out of the quote unquote race, but Swift refuses, and as such, Gabby Durran, Swift breaks off his friendship with Gabby Durran, and she says, jokingly says, "You have betrayed the crust. We are no longer Jam Brodies." and Gabby Durran comically takes her jams, including some of Principal Swift's jams. Later on, Gabby Durran comes out of a way to once again skip the mile test by having the little kid alien from the kid alien who builds robots, the guy from Who is Joey Panther. The very first episode of Gabby Durran and Unsittables I saw, he returns in this episode, building Gabby Durran android to perform all the physical stunts required of the physics exams. It is here where Wesley at first congratulates Gabby for doing the right thing, but then gets a call from Gabby Durran herself, and it's here where Gabby Durran reveals her plan. Everything that's going wrong to the cyborg, the alien built just goes nuts. It starts wrecking and violently tries to attack Principal Swift and tries to legitimately kill him. Gabby and the other guy are just barely able to save Principal Swift and disable the robot. I keep forgetting how they defeated the robot. And it's here where Principal Swift and Gabby reconcile, but Principal Swift makes her takes the physics exam, and Gabby actually takes the physics exam. Gabby eventually takes the quote-unquote physics exam, and everything is resolved, but Wesley doesn't know yet. It comes in comically all late, trying to say Gabby's an android, and then Gabby says, a little late, Wes, and then Principal Swift, yes, get it together, Wesley, and it ends with them doing the jam bronies. In a B plot, Olivia has some kind of recital speaking session. I don't know what it is, but it's a tradition in the Durran family. And she wants to do her mother proud. She needs to learn to be more rude, so she comes to Jeremy for assistance. Jeremy's rudeness gets them kicked out of Julia's restaurant, and even causes Olivia to
I don't know. Maybe I just
and
want
Olivia
to
and Olivia goes crazy and starts going on an angry rant, causing her to be removed from the competition, but she does her mother proud. This B plot I understand, but I did enjoy it. But another great episode of Gabby Durran and Unsittables. This was much better than last week's Sprint from Miami. Now it's time for Dude, Where's My House? One of the best episodes. This episode was even better. Get ready.
I had this character I would do whenever I felt scared. Then, time to get back to the most ridiculously epic night of babysitting. So I kinda lost the house.
Hey everyone, it's now time for my review of this week's new edition, season 2 of Gabby Durran and the Unsittables. Dude, Where Is My House is the title of the episode I'm reviewing. And let me say, this was an awesome, hilarious episode. There were two plots, both were good. You had the A plot involving Principal Swift going away to a cheetah and leopards event club, something like that, and leaving Gabby Durran and Jeremy in charge of his house while he's gone.
Fine. Jeremy's fine. The house is fine. And totally
While he's gone, and Jeremy does something to get the house lost. The B plot involved Wesley trying to impress Skylar's dad. Skylar's dad causing various mishaps to happen. This was the better of the two plots. But let's start off with Gabby Durran's plot. Once again, Principal Swift leaves Gabby Durran and Jeremy in charge of his house while he goes to some cheetah and leopards event that later on turns out not to be an actual cheetahs and leopards event. I'm going to tell you what it is later. Well, anyway, back in Gabby's plot, Gabby and Jeremy have these plans to do all these outrageous things, involving nachos. But Gabby gets a notification on her phone about a big '90s event where they're selling overalls or buckets, something like that. It was some '90s retro gear event. Gabby tells Jeremy she would only be gone for 20 minutes. Jeremy thinks she'll be gone for a long time and doesn't want her to leave. But Gabby convinces him anyway, and Gabby goes. So while Gabby goes, Jeremy makes a bet with a guy named Jim Bug, something like that. I think that's his name, named Jim Bug. He returns from a season 1 episode. I keep forgetting what episode it was, but he returns from season 1, an episode from season 1. Jeremy makes a bet with him and loses the bet, so the Jim Bug guy shrinks the house and steals it. So when Gabby comes back, the house is gone, and Jeremy tries to insist that it's not his fault. But Gabby says, this is not my fault, but Jeremy reminds her that you're the babysitter, so this is going to be on you. So Jeremy and Gabby resolve a plan to get the house back. They track down Jim Bug, and Gabby jumps on top of him and pounds on him with a magazine. Hitting with a magazine until and Jim Bug accidentally lets it slip that this was all Jeremy's plan. And then Gabby says, wait a minute, Jeremy's plan? And he reveals that it is revealed here that Jeremy set up this plan to get back at Gabby for ditching him. For ditching him. It's where Jeremy reveals that he was angry because Gabby never has time for him. There's always ditching him, and they say they want to hit out for fun, not just because it's their job. And babysitting. So him and Gabby reconcile, and they come up with a new plan, and Jim Bug is happy to be included in this plan. They say, oh, you're not included in this plan, Jim Bug, to his disappointment. Here's a huge montage of them rebuilding Principal Swift's miniature house, and then Gabby goes outside to distract Principal Swift, who just comes back, and he learns, which he actually revealed on the telephone prior to coming back, that the cheetah event was not an actual cheetah and leopard event. It was a bunch of people, it was a cult of a bunch of people dressed like cheetahs and leopards, acting all sexually seductive. That's what it was, and this is where Principal Swift accidentally gets a bunch of markings from them. And he comes back, and Gabby distracts him long enough for Jeremy to unshrink the house, and everything appears to be back in normal, and they reconcile. In the much superior and funnier beat, Wesley is nervous about trying to impress Skylar's dad. He does something to the water, does something to the drink, which the carbonated drink sprays all over the place. That's his first mishap. Then he sits down and at the dinner table lets out a huge fart that destroys the chair, to which Sky's dad says, did your flatulence that's destroyed my brand new chair, by Price's new chair, then later, while using the toilet, he has to sit on the toilet and breaks the toilet and tries to get Sky to help him fix it until his dad comes in and jokingly says, first, you ruined my kitchen table with a carbonated drink. Then you soiled my chair. You soiled and destroyed my chair with your flatulence. Then last but not least, you destroyed my porcelain throne. Which I think was some tomahawk dookie. It was hilarious. The way he was saying all these phrases and stuff. And he was like, no, I didn't get it. And then he gets angry and challenges Wesley to a mind duel.
But during the duel, it turns out this whole thing was just a simulation because Wesley eventually figures out it was a simulation because Gabby always Sky always laughs at his involuntary bodily functions and
Explain yourself.
bodily functions and several other things that is here where Sky's that it was a simulation and that Wesley knows much more about his daughter than he does and says, do not tell Sky about this. I promise I'm going to do anything weird. They shake hands and Wesley's dad rewinds the event back to when they first back to earlier that day when they were shaking hands and all is well. So like I said, another great funny episode of Gabby Durran. This has been the most exciting. This has been the most exciting, even better than last week's Mile episode, the most exciting of season 2. And I can't wait for the next episode where bitter rivals Susie and Gabby team up to meet up for a book competition to meet their favorite author of their new book called Best Fins Whenever. I can't wait for that episode. That's next week. So with that being said, you don't hear the rest of the music. Turn the video off right now.
I possibly think this was a good idea. This isn't my fault. You didn't have time for me when we're on some crazy alien adventure. I thought that if I made her up, we could finally have some quality time. Do you really think that?